Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Atifo ne ahwefo yema obi biara kwa ba eba PENDREAM TV. Se na your first time or ha. Subscribe to channel and click notification bell no so like jumadi no na share ma afofro so ensa enkabi. Me wa madam Fubia eya oka asembi. O say we are a sad generation with nice pictures. TV3 Jonnie Hughes reacted to video via a free KORLE-BU teaching hospital. Now it is so sad. Say lifter ever move the patient from one level of the building to another level of the building. And Kamia say lift no enye ejuma. KORLE-BU mponio what of other hospitals and I say what of other clinics near cheap compounds in Ghana. No wonder say in this year no and I say currently no health workers especially nurses epekwan adwane afri Ghana akoye ejuma ewo oman foforo so. Atifo men say won right no kame ho na yentie sane TV3 Jonnie Hughes reacted to video na a free KORLE-BU teaching hospital.
I heard her what she said. That business is not good. Somebody says, oh, boy, divergent views, that's fine. But when we finished the program, those people who were shouting Obwa behind, they came to say, oh, boss, but on camera, because they were so attached to party, they would say Obwa. That's the first one. Now take me to KORLE-BU. Yesterday, something strange happened at KORLE-BU Teaching Hospital. Now, what I'm going to show you is the reality at KORLE-BU. This patient, I am told, my information has it, that this patient had a chest tube, right? The patient had a chest tube. Play the video, please. The patient had a chest tube. And the lift at KORLE-BU, all the lifts are in pairs. If you ever know KORLE-BU, they are in pairs. What is happening, my understanding is that the parts for one lift has been removed and used to fix the other lifts. And that's a normal thing in KORLE-BU these days. The part for one lift has been removed and used to fix the other lift. So if the other lift goes comatose as well, your patient will either be in a stretcher like this one and will have to be carried up at a fee. The boys around there, they will carry the person on the stretcher wheelchair at a fee, 100 cedis, some 150, some 80 cedis. They will, depending on your negotiation skills, they will carry it. This is Ghana's premier hospital. Ghana's first hospital. So my understanding is that this lady had a chest tube. Forgive me if I had to show this, but she had a chest tube. She had to be taken back because if you carry her and then the chest tube comes off, what it is that the fluid would be all over the place and it could be dire for her life. So she had to be taken back. And these are referrals from the emergency KORLE-BU Teaching Hospital. This happened at the surgical block. And you know, I've spoken about the surgical block, about how rotten it was, about how the mosquito nets are not working, about how the building is coming up, about how it has not been painted. I had an old man in this country who used to work at the president, maybe he still does, who came to write gibberish on Facebook.
Johnny's bite.
But the reality is there. My understanding is that up onto the 6th floor, the final floor, that's where the VVIP ward is. That's where all the big men go sometimes. And those places is good. I told you a few months ago how at KORLE-BU, that same block, a chip of the block came to hit somebody's head. It happened again. The contractor has abandoned the building.
Johnny's bite.
But this is it, the lift at KORLE-BU. This is it's a matter of life and death. So people could actually die because of this situation at KORLE-BU Teaching Hospital. Good morning to you, Health Minister. Good morning to the boss at KORLE-BU. Good morning to you. And now to even compound the problem at KORLE-BU, the oxygen. KORLE-BU has no oxygen plant. They buy oxygen from outside. And people die because there's shortage of oxygen at KORLE-BU. So KORLE-BU is fast becoming a death trap. So this thing happened yesterday at KORLE-BU. What you're seeing on your screen, where somebody had gone to the lift. They were going up there for surgery. And the machines were not working. Sad. KORLE-BU Teaching Hospital, built in 1923 to a global standard. What is happening at KORLE-BU? Is the place rotting away? Is there no leadership? Well, now I have been perusing through the Auditor General's report, and I came to one conclusion. You heard what the market woman said. She's able to speak, but she may not have a voice and the platform. Some of us, we are fortunate to have the voice and the platform. But that market woman represents a lot of market women, and because we do a lot of outside broadcasts, when you go, you engage them, and they actually tell you the pains that they are going through. I think that the other problem in this country, aside blaming leadership and the church, is the middle class. The people in the middle class, they're also part of the problem. Because the middle class, they are the ones on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, they are on WhatsApp, they have following, they tell you I have 54K followers, I have 1,000 whatever, I have 10,000 whatever, they have the followership. But they will never talk about critical national issues. You know why? Because they are afraid, and because they think that they are satisfied with the little that they have. They would rather focus and protect that. But it is the lower class, the market woman. They put you to school. That woman there, she has a child in school, I think secondary school or so. She didn't get the opportunity to go to school, but she is deciding that she will make the next generation better. That person, after education, or with the benefit of education, will get to become part of the middle class.
Johnny's fight.
And then when you become part of the middle class, you forget about those down there, and then you are inching towards those up there who are oppressing the people. The middle class. This morning, those of you watching, those of you who meet me in town, you talk to me, you're part of the problem of this country. Because all of what is happening, you have Facebook pages, you never write about it. And I give you a classical example. Before Nado became president, check the middle class who were around him. The middle class were around him. It was the middle class that was able to convince the whole nation that Nado is the best pair of hands, along with Dr. Baumia, ally. The middle class. Today, some of them are presidential staffers. Today, some of them are CEOs. Today, some of them are whatnot. It's a middle class. That is our problem in this country as well. And because we are part of the middle class, you either find us, because we may be directly affected, so there's bond issue, hey, middle class. There's this, hey, middle class. When it affects us directly, but we're not thinking of other people. And we must bow down our heads in shame. The middle class. This morning, when you're watching me, when you finish, you dress up and go to work. Either you might be at work, you may be listening to me in the radio. Change your mind if you're part of the middle class. It must not always be about you. It must be about the larger society. Now, talking about the middle class, the Auditor General's report. I saw something shocking on page 229. Department of Urban Roads. Listen to the story well. I'll read it verbatim. And these days when the reports come, I'll share the portions of the report with you. Department of Urban Roads. Sorry, I'll put it up, please. Unaccounted revenue to the tune of 333,851 Ghana cedis. Listen, 333,851 Ghana cedis. Paragraph 894. Contrary to Regulation 46 of the Public Financial Management Regulations 2019 LI 2378, we noted that the accountant, Mr. Mohammed Osman Amin, and an account staff, Mr. Joy Tete, of the Department of Urban Roads, Greater Accra Region, collected totaling 333,851 Ghana cedis for the period January 2020 to March 2022, but failed to account for it. We recommend that the Chief Director should ensure that the Acting Regional Director recovers the amount 333,851 from Mr. Mohammed Osman Amin and Mr. Joy Tete and pay same into the Auditor General's resource recoveries account at the Bank of Ghana, failing which the amount should be recovered from the Acting Regional Director. 333,851. That's not the end. Embezzlement of funds. 1,534,779. 1,534,779. Section 7 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 921, provides that a principal spending officer of a covered entity shall ensure that regularity and proper use of money appropriated in that covered entity and in the exercise of duties establish an effective system of risk management, internal control, and internal audit in respect of the resources and transactions of a covered entity. Now, our review showed between January 2020 and March 2022 that the acting director approved a total amount, listen, of 214,730. That was what was approved. to be drawn. No, come back, please. I want to, that's where the embezzlement starts from. 214,000, right? 214,730. That was what was to be withdrawn for various activities. We, however, noted that the regional accountant, Mr. Mohammed Osman Amin, altered the amounts in figures and words on the various checks after approval by the acting regional director and withdrew a total amount of 1,799,509 Ghana cedis, 38 pesos. 1,799,000 Ghana cedis, 509 cedis, 38 pesos from the bank details. Now, Mr. Amin has so far refunded 50,000. He benefited from 1.5 million in excess. He has so far refunded 50,000 out of the fraudulent withdrawal, leaving an amount of 1,534,779.38 outstanding. Clearly, a case of thievery, a case of robbery, a case of rape of the state, a case of corruption. Office of the Special Prosecutor, good morning to you. 1 million, 1.5 million. He altered the checks in words and figures. I don't know if this is corruption or corruption-related activities. Now, this same man, oh no, take your time for me, Asharaba, don't rush me, please. This same individual, come back. I want to dovetail because the man started, some monies that were paid 300 and something thousand Ghana cedis. Now there's 1.5 million. There's another. They said, we recommend that they ensure that the acting director, regional director, recovers the amount of 7,950 with interest at the prevailing rate. Mr. Mohammed also paid into. Let me get the context for this. Please go up, please. Show me the document. Go up. Let me get the context of the thing.
Johnny's bite.
No, let's go to the previous page. I want to get the context. It's important to build context, so nobody come and say we are defaming them and will sue us. We want to be ethical. Now, Regulation 78, read paragraph 899. Regulation 78 of the Public Financial Management Regulation 2019, LI 2378, requires heads of covered entities to ensure that payments for goods and services are valid, accurate, legal, and that the evidence of service reduced, certification for work done, and other supporting documents exist. This is law. We noted that the regional accountant, Mr. Mohammed Osman Amin of the Department of the Greater Accra Region, withdrew the amount I was talking about, 7,950. So he has to pay. So one person with Mr. Joy Tete, they have millions of our CDs with them. One person with Joy Tete, Osman. And you see, the recommendation is that he should be referred to the police. Has the urban roads referred him to the police? When you go to the urban roads and you ask them about roads that are sport, feeder roads, whatever it is, they start telling you stories. But if you're a director and you have written a check, and somebody who works under you, who is supposed to be protecting the pest on our behalf of urban roads, he has been able to alter the words and amount. Look at the figures. 333,000 Ghana cedis. 333,000 Ghana cedis. Former 330 million. Or 300 million. Former. Then there 1.5 million in excess. I said the middle class. So this man, if what is being said by the Auditor General is anything to go by, and he did what it is, he is a candidate for jail. Now it beats my imagination as to how such huge sums of monies will be withdrawn from our accounts, and then the only thing that is done for him is that he is given an opportunity to refund. The person who sold a bunch of plantain, who is spending 10 years or 5 years at Insawan prison, was he given an opportunity to return the plantain? The person who sold 100 Ghana cedis and was caught at Makola Market and is behind bars now for a number of years, was he given an opportunity to return the money? These are thieves in suit and tie, according to the Auditor General's report. The Auditor General called it fraudulent. Office of the Special Prosecutor, good morning to you. I want to greet you from the depth of my heart, and I said this matter, reading the reports, it was so underwhelming. And there are various aspects of the report I'll share with you. This is for urban roads. Director of urban roads, in the report, it is said that if you don't withdraw, you don't recoup the monies, which will hold you accountable. We will be watching. And as for Mr. Osman Amin, I say good morning to you. This afternoon, when you go to the mosque at 1 to pray for forgiveness. because you have actually raped the state, according to this report. And if you did that, you should be a candidate for jail by now, with all your conspirators like Mr. Joy Tete. This is a very sad situation. Middle class. Good morning.
Yeah, the answer no best on her. Subscribe to channel and click the notification bell also. Like it, Jumadi and share my afro so and sa and kebi. It will share in the next video. Macrow.
Dedi kama amena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.